So this is 2 days in a row that I've done updates. I like this whole in the car thing because it gives me something to do on the way to work, and it gives you guys what you want. You know, according to your emails and messages, you definitely want to hear more of what I have to say about my experience and what I've gone through with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. Now, thinking back, and I was looking at some of my earlier videos yesterday after I posted the update. I mean, looking at that first video, I was a broken down person. I mean, I really was in a bad place, and that's what led me to have the surgery to start with, was that I was really sad and I was really depressed because I just couldn't do anything that I wanted to do because of the weight. And it's hard to remember what that feels like now because of how far I've come, but you know, looking back at some of those videos and listening to some of the things that I said, I really think that I did the right thing by having the surgery. So I have to throw a little disclaimer here. You know, I can't decide for you what you should do in your life. I can only share my experiences and my opinions. And to say that this is the easy way out, I'm not going to say that, because this has been a difficult road. But I think that the surgery has given me the tools to make this road a sure thing. Because once you have the surgery, there's no going back. You have to stick to the plan, because if you don't, it's dangerous. So that's kind of the disclaimer that I'm going to throw out there is, you know, what's right for me may not be right for you, so definitely do your research. That was another thing is, you know, I wanted to apologize for being so long between my updates, because as simple as a 10-minute video is to do, you know, I put it off and I didn't have time to do it, but yet when I was researching having weight loss surgery, that's all I would do. I would sit and I would watch videos that other people had done to get an idea of what life on the other side was going to be like. So, again, I apologize for not being here to share my experiences for that person who's just like me, who's either considering it or has just now come through it to wonder why things are the way they are. So, now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to move on to topic number 2, which is being invisible. You know, when I was real heavy, I felt like I was invisible. I felt like I had to hide so that people wouldn't see that I was overweight, because that's like a huge handicap. You know, when you walk into a room, before anyone knows what your personality is, they know that you can't control your eating because you're overweight. Or it's harder to keep yourself put together when every time you bend and move, your clothes are coming undone, your clothes are coming untucked. Maybe you're ripping holes in pants and things like that. I mean, that was me. I mean, when I would go to work and do certain things, you know, I had to have spare wardrobe parts with me, because things can get out of control when you're overweight. You know, when you move, things move a long way. So now it's not like that, but at the same time, again, you want to feel invisible when you're that big, and I definitely know that feeling. Now, on the other side of the fence, now that I've gone through it, there is a sense of being invisible because people make you invisible in a good way, because there have been people that I've had contact with that haven't seen me in months, and I literally look like a different person. I mean, if you look at me now compared to my very first video, and you just barely knew me, you might not even recognize me. I might walk right by you in a room where you know you're supposed to be meeting me, and you might not recognize me. That has happened on several occasions. In fact, one of the most recent is I got a call from a colleague of mine who needed to have a meeting with me, and he called me up and he said, Andy, are you in your office right now? I said, yeah. I said, come on up. We'll have a little meeting. So I'm at my desk, and the next thing I hear is that colleague in my coworker's office saying, "Has Andy's office moved? I don't see him. Is he here?" I called him. He said he was here, and my coworker said, "Yeah, he's right there in his office." And the guy's like, "Really?" So I didn't see him in there. Let me go check again. So he comes in the office, and I can tell he's looking at me, and you can just tell that look when they're confused. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. Somebody's playing a fast one on me because you don't look like the guy that I think you should look like. So that was one occasion. And another occasion was similar to that. Was one of my coworkers I haven't had any interaction with in about 5 months was coming to help with a project, and he called me. Said, "All right, I'm here." Just got a text message. He said, "I'm here, and I need to meet you to get a credential so I can get in to be able to do my work." So I said, "Great, I'll meet you on the sidewalk down there, and I'll give you the pass that you need." So just for fun, I walked down the sidewalk, and I saw him turn the corner, and I started walking the opposite way to where I was going to pass him on the sidewalk. And I passed him, and he kept walking right by me. He didn't even acknowledge me. So as he went by me, I said, "Hey, man, you're not going to speak to somebody?" And he just about fell in the floor because he had no idea. So, yeah, you're invisible. I've had ID checks for credit card transactions where the clerk looks at me, looks at the license, looks at me, looks at my license, and just kind of doing a double take. And you can tell they're like, well, should I say something or not? So those are things that make you feel good, and it's fun to do. But it kind of gives you a sense of being invisible because you don't know when someone actually knows who you are or doesn't see you for who you are. There's so many things that I wish I could tell those people who are thinking about having this surgery, because I can't, like I said, I can't even imagine what life was like before. It's hard for me to even think back to that. It's just so different. It's really so different. And the psychological effects of that are pretty significant. So if you're thinking about having this surgery, think about the psychological change that you're going to go through, because you are going to be a different person. You will really be a different person. Now, on the flip side of that, there are some people who are just completely oblivious. The people who never saw you as a heavy person, or never saw you as from your weight. And 120 pounds is what I've lost now, or 119, whatever it is, somewhere around in there. But that's a significant amount, and obviously, those of you who've seen before and after pictures of me, I look like I was carrying around twins. So to look at me now, you should be able to see some kind of difference. But there literally are people who are just now starting to say, "Hey, did you stop wearing glasses, or did you cut your hair, or did you lose like 5 pounds?" So there are people who are just completely oblivious and are just now speaking up and saying, "Wow, you may have lost some weight. You on a diet?" Yeah, and I always laugh because I think it's so funny, because I say, "Yeah, I've lost 5, 10, 120 pounds. I'm over time, so I gotta stop." So then they always ask how I've done it, and then there's the, do I tell them I had surgery or do I not? So maybe I'll do another update soon that talks about telling people about what you've done.